Okay, so we are going to be assembling View A from the Simplicity 8376. Thank you all for casting your votes. This is my second shirt in this process, and I really like this fabric as well. So there are only 5 pieces to this pattern. There's the back of the shirt, the front of the shirt, 2 sleeves, and then a neckband. So I want to take the back of the shirt and the front of the shirt and position those right sides facing. And I am going to be lining up those shoulder seams right at the top. And for this project I am using a serger. This is a very basic entry-level serger. It's the Brother Lock 1034D. I have had it for more than a decade, and it really is such a wonderful go-to serger. I highly recommend it if you are in the market for a serger and you are just new to serging. So I'm going to be using the serger because it offers a nice finished edge. You can also use your sewing machine. The fabric that I'm working with is a really stretchy spandex polyester that I got from our friends over at Big Duck. I will put the link down in the notes for you if you're interested in exploring this fabric. When you're working with the knit fabric, it is advisable not to use a straight stitch machine if you have to work on your regular machine, because as the fabric stretches, your thread is going to pop and then you'll have a ripped seam. So if you are going to work on your sewing machine, use a small zigzag stitch or a stretch stitch. I don't have to worry about that with the serger. It is designed for this purpose. So that's another reason I like to make the t-shirts on the serger. So all I have to do is just line up those shoulder seams, and the clips have been working very well for this project. So I'm going to get those lined up, and then I'm going to serge right across the top of those shoulder seams. Now I did make 2 modifications to this pattern, and the first is I added 3 inches to the length on both the front and the back panels. I like my shirts a little longer. I have a long torso, and then I also decrease the width of the neckline, which we'll cover when we get to the neckline. So I have serged right across that first shoulder seam, and you can see how nice that is. It's a really professional finish. So I'm going to serge the second shoulder seam. And now I have the opening there for the neckband. So when you are looking at your shirt, the front will have the scooped neck there. So that's how you'll be able to tell the difference between the front and the back. So now I want to attach my neckband. So in the pattern they have like a 1 3/4 inch neckband, and I did make the sunflower shirt with that measurement, and I thought the neckband was a little too thick. So I have decreased the width of the neckband to 1.5 inches, and I like that look a lot better. I kept the length true to the pattern measurement because it fits very well, and just simply decrease the width. So now I want to take that neckband and line up those short ends and serge right across there. And then I'm going to fold my neckband in half, wrong sides facing, and I want to put clips on the quarter marks. So I'm going to put one clip where the seam is, and then one clip directly across from that where the center front would be. Line up those two clips and put a clip at each of the remaining ends so that this neckband is divided into 4 parts. And then I'm going to find center on my front and my back, and the seam on the neckband is going to go at the center of the back. So because I want these right sides facing, I'm going to start here with the front because that's where I'm at with this. And I'm just going to center that neckband where my front clip was, so that's nice and aligned. And then I'm going to center my back seam with the back, and so I'm kind of working upside down. Then each of the quarter marks are going to get centered on that shoulder seam. So again, the raw edges of that neckband are aligned with the top edge of the neckline, and all of the fabric is right sides facing. So now I have the neckband in place where I have my quarter marks, and I can go back in now and align in between those quarter marks and get some more clips on there so that I can ensure a nice smooth neckband when I start sewing. It's worth it now to take the time to align everything and clip well, because that will keep you from having any of these layers escape when you're serging and give you a really nice finish. Okay, so once you're happy with the placement of the neckband, I like to start along the back where that seam is, and you're just going to position that up on your serger deck in between your clips and go nice and slow and just serge all the way around the perimeter of that neckline, removing the clips as you go and periodically making sure that your fabric is staying aligned and not puckering. Okay, so I've made it all the way around the neckline there, and you can see that 1.5 inches after the seam allowance there nets me a very nice skinny neckline, which I really like a lot. And this looks great. I'm so happy with this. This material is wonderful to sew with. It doesn't pucker up or do anything weird. I'm really happy with it, and it's so soft. It feels great on the skin. It's moisture wicking, so it kind of remains cool. It always feels cool to the touch. So that's really nice for a t-shirt. So now I have my neckline on, and I'm super satisfied with that. The next step is for me to attach my sleeves to this. So I don't cut out the notches or put the darts or anything like that on a simple pattern like this. But what I do with the sleeves here, which you can see are kind of like a bell shape here, they have a curve at the top there, is I do mark the 2 dots that are on the pattern for the back of the sleeve, and then the single dot for the front of the sleeve. Because once you separate these, it is easy to get yourself confused with the sleeves. So, you know, the front of the t-shirt has the scoop, so that's easy to keep up with. And I know then that the single dot will go towards the front of the t-shirt. I know the back has the seam at the neckline, so that'll be helpful. So I'll open this up and my back is to the left and my front is to the right. You're working along this curve is going to go along the shoulder there. So I think it's easiest to line up the sides of the sleeve with the side of the shirt there just below the armpit. Basically this forms the armpit. So I'm going to get that there, and then I work around this curve and just add my clips, lining everything up. Okay, so my sleeve has lined up perfectly. So now I want to serge just around the curved part of this, okay? I'm not gonna serge down the little side area there, that's just holding this in place. So I'm just gonna put it up there and serge right along that top curve. And then that creates the shoulder there, and you can see it's really starting to look like a top now. And so my sides are still open, very pretty. Now I just want to attach the sleeve on the opposite side. All right, and I have my second sleeve on there, and that looks really good. Now the next step is for me to turn this inside out and line up those side seams and the underarm seam there. So I do like the sleeve seams to be aligned. I'm sure you would like yours to be aligned too, so I'm going to start there. And then everything else should align really nice for you. If something is not aligning, that means that you either miscut or your seam allowance was off. I am impressed that mine is aligning even though I extended this pattern. So that means I did a good job cutting. But if you did have to have a misalignment, if it was a small misalignment, it would be better to have it at the bottom than at the sleeve, because you could likely correct that with your hem. Okay, so I have both sides aligned. I'm going to start at the sleeve and stitch down to the bottom hem on both sides, and then all I have to do is hem my sleeves and the bottom of the shirt, and I have a brand new t-shirt. Okay, so I went ahead and serged the sides of my t-shirt, and now I've turned it around right side out, and you can see I have a slim fit, longer t-shirt. I think I'm going to be really happy with this. I originally cut out the large based upon the measurements on the back here. I thought that might be a good comfy fit for me. It was way too big for me. So this is actually the small, so I think it's fair to say this shirt runs big in the sizing. So the small fits like I like my shirts to fit, and then with the additional length, I think this is going to be just perfect for me. And the slight modification to the neckband, I actually have a pair of blue shorts that I think is going to match this perfectly, and I had nothing else to go with it, so this is exciting for me. So I cannot remember what this is called, but it's a 1/4 inch double stick tape that you can sew with, and it is really nice for taping up the hems on the sleeves and on the bottom of the shirt, because it offers some stability to the project. So I am going to tape up a 1/4 inch hem across the bottom of this and around the sleeves. And then I am going to use my Janome and hem this with a very narrow zigzag stitch. Okay, so I have my 1/4 inch tape all around the base of the shirt, and that just allows me to fold up and have a perfect 1/4 inch hem there. On my Janome Skyline S3, I am using stitch number 9, which looks like a little lightning rod, and that is going to give me that stretch stitch that I spoke of for this hem. So I'm going to make my way around the bottom of the shirt, and then I will add some tape to each of the sleeves, and I will have a nice tidy 1/4 inch hem. And then I will come back and show you what my finished shirt looks like. I just finished hemming my sleeves and the base of the shirt, and I'm really excited to go and try this on and see how the custom fit is for me. Again, if you need the pattern, I use Simplicity 8376, and I worked with the Big Duck spandex polyester fabric. I will put my affiliate link down in the notes for the fabric. That's a really easy way for you to support the channel and keep me well stocked in pretty material. So I'll be sure to share a photo of me in my new shirt, and I look forward to working with more of this Big Duck spandex fabric in the very near future. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for sewing with me today.